Hello, everybody. How are you doing? So, today we're going to talk about the 15 things I wish I knew when I started homeschooling all them years ago. I wish somebody would have told me, or I just wish I knew it. So, that is what we're going to talk about today because I realize there are a lot of newbies out there that's coming onto the homeschooling ranks. And we're so happy to have you here. And I want to alleviate some of the anxiety and the stress that you're feeling being a newbie, or maybe you have a year of homeschooling up under your belt, but you just didn't find your groove yet. I want to give you that reassurance and that encouragement and let you know that you can do it. And these are the 15 things that I wish I would have known before I started homeschooling, or when I was in the thick of homeschooling. I wish I knew this in the beginning. So I hope this video will prove to be beneficial for you, and it will give you that gleam of inspiration and encouragement and motivation that you need to continue on your homeschooling journey or to start your homeschooling journey. But before I get into my 15 top things, sometimes I have individuals that stumble upon my videos. And if you're one of the stumblers, I want to say welcome to Homeschooling Oils. If you don't know who I am, well, my name is Tina. I am your Homeschooling Oils consultant, and I help you get your pesky little emotions under control using plant-based therapeutic products. Now let's get back to the 15 topics. The 15 things I wish I knew. Now, I did notes because I did not want to forget I didn't want to forget any of them because I sat down and really thought about the things that I wish I knew. I started with 5, and then it gradually went to 10, and now I'm at 15 things. So let me go ahead and jump right into it so this will not be a very, very long video. Number 15, I wish that I knew that I could get things free in the beginning. I did not realize that there were so many things out there for free that was open and available to me, but I had no knowledge of them until I started searching high and low due to my struggle and my challenge of having one income and having a child with learning differences and also having another child, trying to figure out how I was going to do all the homeschooling things and provide a quality education. And my budget is tight. How can I actually do that? So I start searching. Google was my best friend, and I was able to find stuff. So I wish I would have knew in the past when I first started my homeschooling journey that I did not have to be up sleepless nights worrying about I'm not going to have enough money to get this, or will I be able to provide a quality education for my kids for that, because I would have just started looking and applying for all this free stuff from the beginning. I kind of went into homeschooling and had very, very little resources and felt very, very inadequate in the beginning because I didn't have what everyone else had. And that's another topic. But now I know you can get a lot of stuff for free or discounted, and used can be your very best friend, buying used curriculum. Another thing I wish I would have known from the beginning, that there are so many places, museums, stores that offer teacher discounts. And guess what? If you're a homeschooler, you're a teacher. So therefore, get your discounts. Go into the stores that you like to go to, like Michael's and Books A Million and Barnes and Noble. And that's just some of them. You can actually get a teacher's discount where you get like between 10 to 20% off whatever you purchase. Now, I wish someone would have told me that in the beginning. That would have been something that can also help save you money on your homeschooling journey. So whichever store you go to, ask the manager or ask one of the employees, hey, do you offer teacher discounts? And if they do, great. If they don't, well, now you know. So go ahead and find out about your teacher discounts on any place where you spend money. The next thing I wish I would have known is the importance of following your own journey. Everybody's homeschooling journey is different. Just because all of us are homeschoolers, that does not mean that we are on the same path. We can have some of the same situations, but that still does not mean we're going to be on the same path. Yes, we can look at these wonderful videos on YouTube and look at Pinterest posts and beautiful blogs and see all the different amazing things that other homeschoolers are doing. And we should look at those things as inspiration, things to encourage us, things to give us suggestions, give us some ideas, some food for thought. But we should never try to mirror someone else's homeschool for our homeschool, because if you do that, you're going to set yourself up for failure, because you're never going to reach their journey's expectations. You're always going to be falling below the belt when it comes down to that. So in order for you to stop that anxiety and stress and feeling inadequate and not doing a good enough job, stop comparing yourself and mirroring yourself after someone else's homeschool. Use other people's homeschooling journey to encourage and motivate you and get some ideas, but don't use it as this is the mode in which I have to follow, because your journey is your journey, mine is mine. And that's what makes homeschooling beautiful, is that we are all going down the same road, but we're taking different speeds and we're all in different vehicles. But we're at the end of the day, we all going to the same place. We're homeschooling, but we all have a unique way of getting to the finish line. Embrace it and love that. Number 12, don't allow people's opinion on your decision to homeschool make you feel like you're less than of or something wrong with you because you decide to homeschool. Now, this is a touchy topic, but I just want to let you know that when you decide to homeschool, it's not popular with everyone, especially well-intentioned family members and friends may come in and try to share their tidbits about why you shouldn't do this and why are you doing that. You're going to be, you're disservicing your child in a sense. They're not going to be socialized, all blah, 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 blah. Do not get caught up in all of that, because when you have made a decision to homeschool your children, you're doing it out of love. You're doing this because you have decided this is the best option for your family. And although other people is going to have their opinions about why you shouldn't or this or that, do not let that get into your mind and start making you feel like you made a decision. Because at the end of the day, those are your kiddos and your children and your family, and we all have to make the decision for ourselves. So if it's on your heart of hearts to homeschool, do not let someone else dictate whether or not you're going to continue or not. You be the one to dictate whether or not you're going to continue or not. So please don't, because that will get you into a spiral of all kind of stress and anguish and sleepless nights by allowing other people's opinion to kind of maneuver your decision with homeschooling for your kiddos. Number 11, you're going to grow. I wish someone would have told me that I was going to grow so much and learn so much from homeschooling my children. Because as you're learning and as you're teaching your children, you're going to be expanding your knowledge, expanding your brain, expanding your reach, because you're trying to give your child the best education possible. So with that being said, you're going to learn, you're going to be filling your mind with so much of different information. So you're in school too. And this is something that you're actually sharing with your children. You are growing and learning together. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So embrace it, be grateful and thankful. It's truly a blessing. So I have learned so much from these years of homeschooling my children. And I'm really, really thankful for that. Point number 10 is ask for help. Sometime when we get in our homeschooling journey, we feel like because we decide to homeschool our children, it was our decision, that we should never delegate and get help or ask for help or get a tutor or different stuff like that. If you know and you get to a dead end, so to speak, in your homeschool where everything you do is not working and you cannot seem to get your footing together, that is a perfect time. Or you just totally stressed out and you need a break off of certain stuff. It's nothing wrong with you asking for help. And that is also a great time for you to delegate stuff with friends, relatives that are good at certain subjects or topics, or find different areas in which you can put your child in a course with other children at libraries, going to other events. That'd be a good time to delegate. And if you still know that is not working, then you need to outsource and get you some homeschooling consulting. There are many individuals. I provide homeschooling consulting, but there are also other individuals out there that provide homeschooling consulting. You need to connect with me or one of them so that you'll be able to get the guidance that you need. And you need to make sure that the one who you pick, you resonate with and you feel comfortable with, so that when you're telling them about your intimate situation with your family and your homeschooling journey, your ups and downs, you want to make sure to get the best benefit out of your consultation. You need to be able to trust them. You need to be able to open up to them, because if you don't open up to them, you're not going to be able to get the true help that you need. They're not going to be able to provide everything, or everything that you need, because you're not being open about what you actually need for your particular homeschool, or what your family needs are, whether it's emotional, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's learning difference, whatever the case may be. You just need to make sure that you find a homeschooling consultant that can really be personable with you when you're going through something so deep. And it's nothing wrong with asking for help. That is a strength. Okay. Number 9, you don't have to be great at every subject in order to homeschool. Many people feel like, oh my goodness, I cannot homeschool because I'm not good at math. I can't homeschool because I'm not good at English. I can't homeschool because I can't stand history. How am I going to teach something that I don't? You can still be great at homeschooling, and you do not have to know every topic, because guess what? Just like the kiddos are learning. I remember when I first started out, I did not know certain stuff. You know how I did it? The week before or the night before I had to teach that particular topic, I taught it to myself, and I made sure I understood it from the top to the bottom, to the left to the side. And when I didn't get it totally, I looked out on YouTube. I Googled it. I did little tests online that were free to teach myself how to do it so that I could be able to teach my kiddos. So don't allow, well, I'm not good at this particular subject, stop you from homeschooling. I wish somebody would have told me that you don't have to be the best of the best on every single topic. You know, some things we're good at, we're more better than others, and some things we're just making our way through. Those, you don't have to be great at it, but your love and your sheer determination to help your kids, to educate them and give them the best education possible, you're going to learn it, because I did. And now all the things that I wasn't so good at, now I'm great at them because I took the time and I taught myself how to do it. And you're going to do the exact same thing too. So I wish somebody would have told me that you don't have to be great at every topic. You can still do it. Number 8, I'm always, let's see, it says that goes along with number 8, is that you're always good enough to teach your kids. Sometimes we feel like, I'm not qualified to teach my children. Yes, you are. You're totally qualified, because number 1, love is your foundation. And number 2, you know your child better than anybody else. You know when your child is giving you their best and when they're not giving you their best. You birthed them. You know your babies. So you are the one who is best qualified to teach your child, because you know the good and the bad. You know their ups and their downs. You know their strengths and their weaknesses. And you're going to be the one that is totally dedicated to pull out their best and help them even when they're not great at something. You're going to be determined to help them figure it out on how to actually master or actually be able to get through that particular difficulty, because you're invested in your children more than anybody else. So you're qualified. Number 7, that this is a thing. All homeschoolers are not geniuses. Just because you're homeschooling does not mean that your child is going to be a genius. It does not mean that your child is going to be an A+ student in every single topic. This is the same. Even if your child was in public school, that does not mean that they was going to be an A+ student. Now, I'm not saying that you should not try to inspire your child to be great at whatever they're doing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that everybody is not good at everything. And you should not feel or think that if your child is not an A+ student, if they're doing their very best and you're doing your very best and they still just make a C or a B, that is okay because it's their best. It's their best. And we should not pressure them to the point that it makes them hate learning because we're trying to compare ourselves to someone else homeschool. Maybe a C is the best that they can do in that particular subject. But I guarantee if they're making a C in a topic that they're not that great at, I guarantee a topic that they are great at, they're making an A+. So it balances itself out. And then think about ourselves. I think about myself. I wasn't an A student in everything when I was in school. But yet I still was a good student because all the stuff kind of balanced out. So we need to have realistic goals for ourselves in our homeschool and also our kiddos, not to be unrealistic, so to speak. We want them to be their best. We want to provide them the best education. But at the end of the day, we want to build their confidence. We want to motivate them. And we want them to be in a situation where they can be able to go out in society and be able to live and function and do things. And some of the greatest people failed many times before they actually became the person that we remember now. So we use those as teaching moments, and we don't be so hooked up on the grade all the time. We do have to be concerned about grades, but we don't have to be so consumed with it that it sucks the life out of the educational process and sucks the life and confidence out of our kiddos. Okay, and number 6 is be flexible. I wish somebody would have told me this when I first started because I am a stickler for planning and trying to make sure I micromanage and keep everything tip top to the schedule. And if I decided I'm going to use this, then we're going to use this. I don't care. We're going to use this. That's how I was. No flexibility, no giveaway, no nothing. But as the years went on, I realized that I had to learn to be flexible. What worked in the beginning of the school year or what worked one school year may not work this school year, because just as our bodies change and grows, our homeschooling journey change and grows. And sometimes it does that mid-year. Like right now, I had to rechange my whole plan that I planned in August and adjust it to our family situation now. And I remember the time when I would have never done that. Change a curriculum in mid-year? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that because I felt like, okay, we made a commitment. We're going to do this curriculum. We're going to finish this curriculum. Or I took my time and built this curriculum. We're going to do this, even if it wasn't working. But one thing I want to encourage you to think about is learning the art of being flexible and adaptable. Because when you start learning how to maneuver through this homeschooling journey, you will notice that you will have less stress. You will notice that you will not have all the worries and the anxieties that you usually have. I'm not saying you're not to never worry about anything, but what I am saying is sometimes we are more stressed because of what we're not doing. And if you notice that if something is not working, no matter how much you try to flip it, change it, adjust it, adapt it, and it's still not working, but you're trying to make it work, then that's the problem. So I wish someone would have told me, Tina, just let it go and move on. It's okay. So I'm telling you now, it's okay. Number 6 is adapting a curriculum isn't a failure, but it's a good thing. Some people feel like when they buy a curriculum, they're going to follow the directions from A to Z just as the curriculum instructs them to. They're going to follow everything A to Z. I had to learn this the hard way, that although a curriculum may be pretty good, but you get to a certain part in it and it's not really fitting. Maybe your child don't understand the way the directions are highlighted, or maybe you don't, it's not really clear to you, it's kind of vague, kind of generalized, well then learn to adapt and mold the curriculum to your child's needs. Maybe you have a child that's a visual learner, adding some visual content. Maybe you have a child that needs you to read the stuff out to them, and then you have to write the answers into the test because maybe they have a writing difference where it's hard for them to get thoughts to paper. Maybe you have to adjust the way it's presented. Learn how to adapt and learn how to not, if you know that you have to adapt something, that does not mean that you're failing. That means that you're actually succeeding because you're learning how to maneuver. Okay, number 4 is homeschooling isn't perfect. Let me say that again. Homeschooling isn't perfect, because many times we look on Pinterest, we look on YouTube, we look on all these beautiful blogs, and we see the classroom looking perfect, or their teaching area looking perfect, the kiddos making these perfect projects, and everyone smiling and all of this. And then you at your homeschool and you're like, what is wrong? Mine doesn't look like that today. Well, guess what? Theirs don't look like that all the time neither. Trust me, we all have those moments where it's a bad day. So the sooner you understand that life happens, and I wish somebody would have told me that every day is not going to be a great day. We all have emotions. We all have different things that we go through. We be around our kids 24/7 because we're educating them. And so if you're around somebody every single day, you're going to see their good days. You're going to see their bad days, their in-between days. And we have to realize that the same child that was ready to go and ready to learn on Monday might not be the same child that comes in the room on Wednesday. They might just be totally not compliant, do not want to do any work. And it's just a situation where you're like, oh, it happens. That is no reflection on you. We have moments. We as adults, we have our moments where we just don't want to be bothered, or we are having those moments where we just like, oh my goodness, what is this? So our children are allowed, they're little humans, they're allowed to have their moments too. So and then when they're having their moments and your homeschooling day is not going as planned, do not let that discourage you, saying that, okay, but then I'm a failure as a homeschooler parent because I cannot get my kids to sit down today. We're just not getting into the groove today. Guess what? It happens to all of us. And sometimes more than one time a day, or during a week or a month. It's normal. It's a thing that happens. That is not a reflection of your teaching or your teaching ability. It's just something that happens. So I just want to encourage you with that. We all have bad days. We all have times when we don't want to do something. And children don't want to learn every day, no matter if they are a child that used to learn, that loves to learn. Some days they don't want to do it. And it's just how life goes. Number 3 is break the cycle of trying to make your homeschool follow the public school way of learning. The reason why we decided to homeschool is because we wanted to homeschool, not bring public school to homeschool. I have noted when I first started, I was trying to follow the structure and everything, how they did in the public school, and it wasn't working. And if I would have had to use my common sense, I knew that it wasn't working when they was in public school. So why in the world would I tailor my educational process at home, right, but mirroring what they was doing in public school and bringing it home to homeschool? Because I am a product of public school, and that's the only way that I knew. And I felt like if it wasn't that type of way, then we wasn't learning. Well, then I'm here to tell you, children learn all different types of ways. You can have your designated classroom, which I do, but I'm here to tell you, we teach throughout my entire home. Sometimes we're in the kitchen, sometimes we're in the living room, sometimes we're in our bedroom, sometimes we're in our classroom, sometimes we're outside. So the sooner you know that learning can happen anywhere and it does not have to look like public school, the better off you will be. And that's where the educational process will be free flowing, and you will notice that your child will be able to learn, or children be able to learn anywhere, and you will not have those constrictions centered around, I have to fall into this particular mold because, hey, we broke the mold when we started homeschooling, right? We broke it. So let's not put ourselves back in the mold. Let's be free. All right. Number two is follow your homeschooling journey. You are not behind because you are not in a competition. Many of us, this video is getting way too long, so I'm sorry. Many of us, we say my children are behind. That is kind of like a loose-ended statement because how can they be behind when they're not in competition with anyone? Usually when you're behind, you're in a competition. True, we have certain points and certain goals that we would like to reach in whatever grade level they're in, but keep in mind, we're not running a marathon here. We are trying to do mastery with our children. We're trying to get them to totally learn. We're trying to get them to learn on their pace, their unique learning style, and not push them through and rush them through. Some children can just go straight forward and just go super duper fast. And then some kids, they need to be pulled back and slowed down a little bit. Whatever situation you find yourself in, embrace that. Do not feel like you're behind. You're behind because wherever your child is at currently, that's where they need to be at. Because although your child's physical age may be a certain age, and by that certain age, it says they need to do this at a certain grade level, their emotional age may be totally different. That's what many people don't understand. You can have a 14-year-old teenager that still has 10-year-old tendencies from an emotional standpoint. So yes, they have the age, but developmental wise, they're more like a 10, 12-year-old. And so how can you take that child and give them something that they're not ready for yet? So we need to embrace and get to know our child's emotional age, their developmental age versus their physical age. And once we start balancing that off, you'll notice how you'll do much, much better. I had to learn that because although my kids are 14 and now 13, he just turned 13, their emotional ages and are different from their physical ages. So on some topics, they're advanced, some topics they're not as advanced, and then some topics they're right in the middle. So when I know how I need to address each topic based on their emotional developmental age versus their physical age. Now, some things they're way, way above. And one thing we have to realize that just like in life, we're not good at everything at the same time, at the same degree. That's how it is with homeschooling. Every grade level, every topic, your child is not going to be usually the same level on everything because we all learn differently and at different paces. So the sooner you embrace that and try to develop stuff around their unique learning style, the better. The last one is you can build your own. A lot of people say you can build your own curriculum, which I am an advocate of building your own curriculum because it's a great money saver. However, I'm going to tell you a little secret tonight because this video is about to clock 30 minutes and I'm so sorry about the long video. Your child is the curriculum. Yes, your child is the curriculum. There is no perfect curriculum out there. I don't care what you do, not unless you created yourself exactly designed for that particular child. That's the only way you can kind of get around it. But your child is a curriculum. And the reason why I say that is because many of us are so curriculum junkies. We are just junkies when it comes to curriculum. I don't know any homeschooling parent that just don't absolutely love just shopping for curriculum and finding different stuff. We just love it like a new car smell. We just love it. And we say, okay, my child think they're going to like this. They're going to like that. Oh, this is going to work great because I saw this video. Oh, well, guess what? Your child is the curriculum. And let me explain that. Your child is the curriculum because your child is the best gauge on telling you or helping you figure out what they actually need in reference to curriculum. So in order for you to figure that out, you need to sit down, look at your child, see what their likes and dislikes are, what their strengths and their weaknesses are. And then based on those observations, then you pick a curriculum or you make a curriculum or build a curriculum center around what that child needs. Not going out and buy a curriculum and then try to make it fit them. You buy a curriculum based around what you already see, what their unique needs are. And then you go out and look for something that fits them, not you trying to fit the curriculum on them, So that is how you do it. Your child is the curriculum, and there's no perfect curriculum, not unless you make it yourself, designed just for your one individual child. So you guys, that is it. That was my 15 top things that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started homeschooling. Sorry for the long video. I meant for it to be 15 minutes or less, but of course it was 15 different things, and I want to explain them so you will know. For all my newbies, for those of you who are watching this on the replay, please put #replay. Let me know where you're coming in from so I can shout out to you, because I want this to be a community of interacting, support, and engagement. So in order for me to do that, you have to comment on the video. Sorry for the long video. Please forgive me for that. If it's too long for you, just stop it halfway and come back and watch the rest later. I don't mind. I just want you to be able to get the top 15 things that I feel that are truly beneficial for that I wish somebody would have told me. And now that you know, now you can rest. You can relax. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you this Saturday. I will see you next Saturday. Bye.